What's up, everyone? Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from the Gorehounds of Horror. We hope everyone is having a safe and horrifically great holiday season. We normally do reviews on Tuesdays, but since Christmas is literally right around the corner, we wanted to do something a little different. We have compiled a list of 8 Christmas horror movies that we enjoy, and we want to share them with you.
That's right, and we would love to hear some of your favorites. So let us know down in the comments below. Also, remember to hit that subscribe, click that like, and ring that bell to help support the Gorehounds of Horror. With that said, let's dive into it with 8 Christmas horror movies that we would recommend.
Starting off the list, at number 8, we have Santa's Sleigh, 2005. Hey, do you guys remember that movie where the incredibly ripped professional wrestler Bill Goldberg played Santa Claus? Well, he sort of plays Santa. He plays the devil's son who had lost a wager with an angel and was forced to spend 1,000 years playing Mr. Jolly himself. And then when the wager expires and good old Santa isn't so jolly anymore, he goes on a gruesome holiday killing spree.
Excuse me.
This dark comedy has a good bit of gore, and not only does the sledgehammer dropper himself, Bill Goldberg, play in it, this movie features some other appearances as well, such as Fran Drescher, Chris Kattan, Rebecca Gayheart, Tommy Lister.
Oh shit! Here come Debo, give me your stuff.
Shit.
If you haven't seen this one, check it out.
Coming in at number 7 is the 2011 Saint. On the 5th of December, 1492, a gang led by former Bishop Nicholas is killed by villagers who refuse to put up with the gang's looting and killing any longer. In years in which the gang's death date coincides with the full moon, they return as murderous ghosts. Now, every time there's a full moon on the 5th of December,
it's a full moon tonight. It happens only once every 32 years that there's a full moon on December 5th.
St. Nicholas and his helpers will rise from the dead and take their revenge. The movie takes place in Amsterdam and is centered around a teenager named Frank and a detective with a bit of a troubled past. This one is worth the watch. Note, the original movie is in Dutch, but still very much worth the watch if you don't mind the subtitles. If you don't mind an English dubbed version, there's one out there. It just may require a little searching.
Coming in at number 6, we have Red Christmas 2017. It's Christmas in Australia, and Diane, played by the Dee Wallace, brings together her estranged family for a chaotic holiday gathering. In the middle of the celebrations, a 20-year-old decision literally comes back to haunt her when the ghost of Christmas past itself comes knocking at her door and is invited inside the family estate. Festivities quickly turn blood red when the stranger reveals himself to be Cletus, a forgotten member of the family. It comes as a shock to everyone when they learn that he is Diane's aborted fetus from 20 years ago, now all grown up, very much alive, and ready to terrorize his long-lost mother. Diane must face her past and figure out a way to stop her illegitimate son from killing the entire family.
Coming in at number 5, we've got the 2006 Black Xmas. Billy Edward Lenz, a boy born with severe jaundice, is constantly abused by his hateful mother. With the help of her lover, she murders Billy's father, Frank, on Christmas Eve, 1975, and buries his body in the house's crawlspace. To prevent Billy from talking, she imprisons him in the attic. On Christmas Day, 1991, Billy escapes from the attic and then brutally murders his mother and her lover. He is caught by the police eating cookies made out of his mother's flesh and is sent to a mental asylum. 15 years later, on Christmas Eve, Billy, now 35, escapes from his cell and heads towards his former home, now a sorority house for the Delta Alpha Kappa at Clemson University outside Boston. This Christmas horror film has a pretty decent cast starring Katie Cassidy, Michelle Trachtenberg, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Oliver Hudson, Lacey Chabert, Kristen Cloak, and Andrea Martin.
Number 4 is Silent Night, Deadly Night, Part 2, 1987. This is a sequel to the 1984 movie that shares the same name, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Not missing any beats, this story picks up on Christmas Eve some years after the first movie, with Ricky Caldwell, the 18-year-old brother of the film's first killer, now being held in a mental hospital, sentenced there for life after a series of murders that he committed. While being interviewed by the doctor, you see several flashbacks using footage from the original film. After this, you get to see the murder spree that Ricky goes on in the name of his brother's unfinished work.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
We definitely recommend checking this movie out.
Coming in at number 3, we have the 1997 Jack Frost. Jack Frost takes place in the fictional town of Snowminton, where on the week before Christmas, a truck carrying a serial killer, ironically named Jack Frost, is en route to his execution. The transport crashes into the genetics truck, and the genetic material causes Jack's body to mutate and fuse together with the snow on the ground. Jack is presumed dead and his body melts away. However, he later comes back as a killer snowman and attempts to take his revenge on the man who had caught him, Sheriff Sam Tiller.
How are you? World's most pissed off snow cone.
Jack Frost is notable for being the film debut of Shannon Elizabeth.
Number 2, we have Black Christmas, 1974. Lo and behold, it's time for Christmas break and the sorority sisters make plans for the holidays. But the strange anonymous phone calls are beginning to put them on edge. A girl disappears, they contact the police who don't express much concern. Eventually, a few other things go down and the police finally begin to show some concern when a 13-year-old girl is found dead in the park. This is the original in the franchise. We already listed the 2006 version of this movie. Both of these are great Christmas horror flicks. This one stands as one of the best of all time. However, as of December 13th, 2019, a third film in the franchise, also titled Black Christmas, came out, and we cannot recommend that pile of garbage. So just remember, the 74 version's great, the 06 version's pretty good, but the 2019 version is dull and a boring waste of time. Avoid it at all costs.
Coming in at number 1, Silent Night, Deadly Night, 1984. In 1971, 5-year-old Billy Chapman and his family go to visit a nursing home where his catatonic grandfather stays. When Billy remains alone with him for a very few minutes, his grandfather suddenly awakes and tells Billy,
All the other ones. All the naughty ones. He punishes.
While driving back, a man dressed in a Santa outfit seemingly has car trouble and gets Billy's family's attention to pull over and help. As they pull over, the not-so-jolly Santa shoots the father with a pistol and slashes his mother's throat with a switchblade in front of Billy and his baby brother Ricky. Billy runs off to hide, leaving Ricky in the car. Now, flash forward a couple years. The brothers are sent to the Catholic school, and one Christmas, Billy gets a job working as a department store Santa. To say the least, this does not end well. If you haven't seen this classic Christmas horror movie, we highly recommend it.
Again, there's a lot more to choose from, like Gremlins, Anna and the Apocalypse, Rare Exports, A Christmas Horror Story, just to name a few. So make sure you list your favorite down below.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you can get the notifications on our new content. And please be safe this holiday season. Thanks for watching, and from all of us at Gorehounds of Horror, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.